Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're just plain living here. I'm John Gray.
Good morning. I'm Peggy Burton.
And I'm Jim Puller.
How are you?
Tokyo, Tokyo, Tokyo.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Everything's happening in Tokyo right
The
now.
Olympics going crazy over there.
Yeah, and you were talking about before we went on the air, Simone Biles is withdrawn. Yeah, so.
I hated
And
that.
the American team won silver instead of gold.
Yeah.
So they were expecting to win gold, and well, that would have been 3 times,
Right.
which hadn't been done since the Russians did it in years and years and years ago when it was still Russia.
You know, you kind of wonder how different is it for these athletes, though. There's no fans there, I don't believe,
I hate
because
that.
of the COVID in Japan, and
Yeah,
it's got to be a
really-
different thing.
It's got to be very
Yeah.
different because they don't have that energy that comes from the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't have the fear that comes from doing
Yeah.
something in front of the audience
Well,
too.
true, I guess so.
But it's how hard do you push? There was, like I was saying, Simone in the trials or in the preliminaries. She messed up just about every one of the 4 that she did because she was overdoing.
Right.
She could have backed off a little bit because she's so much better than everybody
Right.
else.
She
could have gone about 3/4 and still won all of them, but she pushed and didn't make the push.
Right.
So, but I think maybe she pulled out because of something,
Some kind of injury.
that she
Yeah.
probably was injured. But what do? You've trained your whole life for something, and
then
you
suddenly
get
you
there
get an
and you're
injury.
hurt.
That's got to be a
And-
heartbreaker.
And what do? Do you say, I'm hurt, somebody else needs to do this? She's better than most people in the world hurt. But how far can you
How
push
far
that
can you
Oh,
push
yeah.
that? That's right.
Right.
It's
till you hurt yourself to where you never can do it again?
It's got to be tremendously disappointing when you get injured, as you said, because for goodness sake, we have no idea the intensity they have to train under, all the time, and
That-
the time they put into that
They
sort
have to
of
be
thing.
so
and
highly disciplined.
yeah.
They just get up and they live and breathe it. That's what
Yeah.
they do.
And that Ledecky girl who's winning everything, who's the best female swimmer in the world. She might be the best swimmer, period, in the world.
Right.
But yesterday she had a 200 meters. She had something else. Then she comes back. She won the gold in the 200 meter. Comes back and swims a 1500 meter. 1500 meters.
I know. Back and forth and back
And she
forth.
wins it by almost a whole pool.
Yeah.
And the guy who was, Michael Phelps, I believe, was talking about her the other day, and he said he's never seen anybody committed to swimming the way she is. Those people, women who swim those long distances like
Right.
that, they're in the pool 8 hours a day,
Yeah.
every day.
Right.
Okay.
That's hard to believe, isn't it?
You got to love it,
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
and you got to swim in pain. They said, the last 500 meters of this thing, most of them are swimming in pain.
I
Yeah.
love to watch the diving, where the synchronized diving, and that just amazes me.
Yeah.
The British guys, I don't know their names, but they weren't old. They were very young, and every time they left the diving board, I mean, I had a heart attack just thinking how far down they went, but 4.5 flips. And you couldn't see the second person. They were so synchronized.
Yeah.
So perfect.
And I think 2 young American girls won the silver.
Yes, I think so.
So we're winning in things that we won in street skating, and we won in we have, and you don't think about it, we have a man and a lady. The man has won the gold in shooting, skeet shooting. This is his 3rd time to win gold. I mean, win gold.
And now they're considering, do they do virtual gaming next time? I mean,
Virtual gaming,
They're
yeah.
talking about that.
Yeah.
Is that going to be considered a sport?
Right.
I mean, to people that do it, they consider it a sport. But I don't know how it'll work out. I like to see the real people doing whatever.
Yeah. Right.
I guess they have to train their muscles in their fingers.
Yeah. I guess.
But to me, that's more of a brain twitch deal
Yeah.
than it is a muscle twitch deal, but it might be.
But, you know.
Yeah.
Do you've been involved in What a Horse for years?
Yeah.
Is a horse an athlete?
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
I think it is, but some
Yeah.
people think no, because it's not a human, it's
Yeah.
not an athlete.
Yeah.
But it trains and
Extensively,
goes through the same things to get
Sure.
better as an athlete. I think the horse is an athlete.
Yeah, I do
be,
too.
or can be an athlete.
Yeah, and plus horses have, you know, it's unusual that one is really that good at his top of his game every time he shows.
Right.
Occasionally you'll find one that way. But, you know, a lot of them have some down days. They have some days they're just not on.
And humans do the
and
same
humans
thing.
do the same thing, yeah.
If they didn't, Tiger Woods or somebody'd win every golf tournament.
Right.
Forever.
You know, forever. And it's just not that way.
Right.
You know, you have a lot of people that are right there.
You know, we haven't
And
talked
one
about
day,
it.
one of them's that much better and
Yeah.
or that much worse.
Sure.
That's right.
And it's certainly like that in professional golf. But and I don't think we talked about this because it's happened a few weeks back. But the guy that, and I don't remember his name, who was leading by 6 strokes on the last day, and got
Got
disqualified.
John Rahm.
Is that who it was?
Yeah.
Okay. And got disqualified because he tested positive for COVID.
I know,
What a
it-
shame.
He
That
that happened to him again this week.
Did it? He tested
He
positive. again?
tested positive again this week. Now, how can that happen? Can you be in a couple of months have COVID twice?
I would, you know,
He had to pull out of another
it
tournament.
sounds almost like the testing process is flawed.
Sounds
or
like
something.
somebody
sounds
wants him
like,
not
yeah.
to play.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, he was winning by 6 strokes when he got disqualified
Yeah.
the first time. I mean, he was probably going to win that tournament.
He could mail that Sunday in.
Yeah, right.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah, it is. It cost
Right.
him over $1
Cost
million.
him a lot of money.
You had a great turnout at South Jackson for the Cersei Hopkins summer soiree.
We did have, there was a lot of volunteers that helped, and it was a wonderful turnout. I was pleased.
And we have some video of that we're gonna have on the show today. And I was very fortunate yesterday. You know, it's funny how this business the paths it leads you down.
Mm-hmm.
But if you've seen the movie Black Hawk Down,
Oh, I have, yeah.
Great movie.
one of the people that was written about, Kenny Thomas, was here yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and I interviewed him.
Right.
And he was, when you see the end of the movie where there's about 9 of them coming over the top of that hill,
Right.
running from thousands of bullets and coming into the safety zone, he's one of those.
Right.
One of those guys. And he left that business and went to Nashville and started doing country music, where Philip Scoggins met him.
Right.
And was working the soundboard on his first album.
Mm-hmm.
And he was here yesterday. Katrine Stevens, our superintendent of schools, met him 6 years ago, and yesterday was the day that all of our administrators and all of our teachers got together for the kickoff for this year, and he was the motivational speaker that spoke to them.
Mm-hmm.
And when we found out about that,
So
Philip
you
called him.
filmed it?
No, they wouldn't allow anybody
Oh,
to film
okay.
it.
That's too bad.
But he came over here,
Right.
and we interviewed him and
good.
filmed him here.
Right.
So very interesting, very exceptional.
And that's going to air
man.
when, do you know?
That'll air. It's on our YouTube page already. It's on our Facebook page already. It will air during the slot that Insight usually runs, because the Insight we're running now is the 2040 plan meeting
Uh-huh.
that we had at the high school. That's an hour and some odd long, and it's running in the time slots where graduation was.
Right.
So we have all kinds of great programming on our channel. Just find it, watch it.
Right.
This Kenny's just incredible.
It's great that you got that interview.
Oh, I was very, very honored to have him in here. And guess who he had with him?
I don't
A
know.
rescue guard dog.
Oh,
No kidding.
Not a guard dog, but a service dog.
Service dog, yeah.
That he had taken. The service dog was being decommissioned, and
That's
Kenny
great.
Yeah.
takes him. And Kenny doesn't drive; he
What
flies.
do they do when they get a service dog? I mean, Was he a service dog or a
No,
military?
he was I think he was a military
Yeah, and
service
it's not,
dog.
not that easy to untrain them. You know, they're
He untrained pretty good to lay right down there and sleep.
Sure he
Yeah.
did.
Of course, he's an old dude.
Right.
And but Kenny is has a airplane, and instead of getting on the interstate and driving, he has a Cessna that's nice Cessna, and he just gets in it and
Flew in
flies.
here
He flies
himself.
wherever he goes. and
Right.
Dog's in there with him.
Right.
So,
Well, that's cool.
So it was a very, very good day. We talked about he's going to be on. We're going to show a clip of him playing a song on the show today about the name of It's Not Me.
Yeah.
About folks who end up doing things that they normally wouldn't do.
Right.
Like, oh, not me, but then they step up and do it.
Right.
And that's part of his motivational speaking is we have to step up.
Right.
Yeah, and sometimes you just have
And
to
go
take the
forward.
lead and go forward. That's right.
And in he speaks about his advocacy for veterans and their care and the suicide rate and finding jobs for
huge
them,
issue that
and
needs to be
it's a huge
solved.
issue. And he said, you know, a lot of it is on us, but a lot of it's also on them. You know, that we have programs that are out here, the VA does, and I said, yeah, Kenny, but they're not easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at the Legion, at one point we had 3 service officers it took to get all the paperwork filled out for these folks.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And he said, yeah, but they need to reinvent themselves as well. You know, there's things that can be done.
Mm-hmm.
And I equated that to our pandemic. You know, a lot of jobs that were there are gone and will never
Yeah,
return.
won't go
Right.
back. That's right.
So you have to reinvent yourself. I gave him one of my books, and this was in there. Plastic and paper bagged and boxed at the road. New things get made out of old stuff. My life's container has been kicked to the curb many times. So Lord, please continue to repurpose me. So we have to
great line.
repurpose
You have to repurpose
ourselves. You,
yourself.
Right.
you have to go, wait a minute, that's gone. I'm a smart person. I'm a hard-working person. I need to learn how to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's new jobs out there that we've never seen before.
Right.
Everybody's got a sign up that says help wanted.
I know.
That's
I don't care
bad.
what their business is.
Right.
So get a job, right?
Go to
Yeah,
work.
Peggy and I were thinking about maybe going to work in fast food because I understand they're going to start paying $15 an hour
Yeah,
and stuff.
so we're
and
gonna go start
we're
working
going
on
to. That might be our next
That
career.
might be our next career.
I
right?
was watching a commercial yesterday about people you got so much time with spending with your kids and your husband and your dad that you can't clean your house. Go online and there's a house cleaner.
Yeah.
Them gals are getting in $19, $20, $22 an hour
Yeah.
for mopping floors.
Yeah.
Well, they deserve it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't like it, you'll mop your own floor.
I understand
Yeah,
that, but I mean, all I'm saying is there's
Exactly.
good money out
I
there
know, yeah.
if you'll just get up off the
Absolutely.
couch and go to work.
Right.
Guess what? They call it work. They don't call it job.
Yeah.
If you're going looking for a career, you're not going to find one until you go to work.
Yeah.
That's just,
a
it's
good
that
point.
simple.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, so we'll be back with the rest of today's show right after these messages.
I am tremendously blessed to be living at Parkview and very happy to be part of a loving and caring community.
Best thing you can say is this really a great place to live. That's all there is to it, no doubt about that.
It's your home. You just do what you would if you were at your private home. You know, we love it. It's great.
It's just like having a whole neighborhood around you, and it's fun.
It's just a great place to live.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. he has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, no, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
Hello, I'm Ray Norris, Mayor of Tullahoma. I want to thank the citizens of Tullahoma who've been following the CDC guidelines for helping prevent the spread of COVID-19. You've been wearing your mask, you've been getting your vaccinations, and I'll tell you, it's working. Today, our positivity rate is less than 5%. That's the lowest it's been since the earliest days of our pandemic. So, now I want to urge each of you to continue to follow these guidelines, and together, let's get this pandemic behind us and get our country back to the old normal where we need to be. Thank you.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we were talking about Kenny Thomas just a minute ago, and he wrote this song. He was in the studio when Kenny Rogers was coming to Moraine Studios and doing some work there. And one day Kenny walked in and said, "What are y'all gonna write about today?" And Brent Mayer, who was the owner of Moraine Studios, said, "You know, I took my son." He said, "Not me." He said, "I took my son to baseball practice when he was little, and I was the only dad there." And at the end of this deal, I said, "Well, who's the coach?" And somebody walked over to me and handed me a tablet and a whistle and said, "I guess you are." He said, "No, not me." But 7 years later, he was still coaching the ball team. And the reason why is because he saw a need, he stepped up and did the job. He became a leader for those young men. That's what this song's about. That's what Kenny Thomas is all about, is stepping up, doing what's set in front of you. If he wouldn't have done it, he wouldn't have gotten back from Black Hawk Down in Somalia. So let's listen to Kenny play Not Me.
The song I want to do is the one we talked about earlier. It was that first one that kind of got us on the map in Nashville. Brent Mayer, Billy Montana, and myself wrote the song, and I'll usually play this at the end of the speech, and I'll tell the audience, I'm like, hey, you know what, it just took me an hour to talk about taking care of each other, and when we need you is when it's hard. I can sum it up in a 3.5-minute song. And this is 3 people, I know them all by name, they all had to step up and do something they didn't want to have to do. And nobody wants hard times, but you know, unfortunately, that's when we need you. If it was easy, like, I could handle it on my own.
That's right.
So this song's called Not Me. It's stepping up. And when I go back and listen to that record, it always makes me smile because Emmylou Harris and Vince Gill sang the backups on it.
Right.
And it was Emmy, I don't know if Philip remembers this, but Emmy kind of came in and sang and politely trashed me from the thing. She's listening to my vocal and she's like, "Oh yeah, Kenny, you pushed the beat just a little bit. Don't worry, Willie Nelson does the same thing." And I'm like, did you just trash me and compare me to Willie?
Compared to Willie, I mean.
Well, no one raised their hand that day when they asked for volunteers. He got picked out by default. He was the only daddy there. We know what you're thinking, choose someone else instead. But this league was built on coaches who stood right there and said, not me, not me. No way with this job of mine. I could never find the time. Not me, no, not me. But the world becomes a better place when someone stands and leads the way, steps forward when they'd rather say, not me. The judge says you're the oldest, makes you the legal guardian. I'm sorry how you lost your folks, but there's no next of kin. A brother and a sister, she knew how hard it's gonna be. But she softly said, I'll raise them, while the voice inside her screamed, not me, not me. I can't believe what's happening. This isn't how it's supposed to be. Not me, no, no, not me. But the world becomes a better place when someone stands and leads the way, steps forward when they'd rather say, not me. A young captain at attention, a star pen on his chest. He recalls the battle while the final roll call's read. They were the finest soldiers, it was my privilege to lead, and they deserve the medals, the men who died, not me. Not me, not me. I just did what I was called to do. You'd do the same if it was you. Not me, Lord knows not me. But the world becomes a better place when someone stands and leads the way, steps forward when they'd rather say, not me. Yeah, yeah, steps forward when they'd rather say, not me. Not me.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the paint. Uh-oh. I just knocked a tree over. This is the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now, you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the paint works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You know, you can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat, you know? They do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the paint works at 1960 North Washington Street and you see David Heikkinen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fixes you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paintworks today. Martin Senor. See? Martin Senor. Right there. Martin Senor at the Paintworks. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
I always love it when somebody I love comes in to be on our show. Today I'm happy to have Kenneth Fly and his daughter Lori from Lynchburg and the Caboose Cafe.
Barbecue Caboose.
Barbecue Caboose, and we're going to talk about that today, but first tell me what you've been doing since I've seen you.
Oh, there's some things I don't want to tell.
Oh, okay.
I had the virus, made it through
did
it.
you
I
really
did,
did?
and I made it through it. A little tough at times, but I got there.
Did your wife get it?
She did. Lori had it.
Oh my goodness.
Joel had it. Jonathan had it. We all had it.
The whole family
We
had
passed it around, so we're all immune.
Fabulous.
You know.
That is great. Well, obviously you're back in business with the barbecue in Lynchburg, so tell me what's going on.
Yeah, we went through the pandemic and we made it because we had a drive-through window, and it survived. It paid the bills till we got back. But things are picking up. It's looking.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah, a lot of tourists. We just don't have the European tourists, but they can't get here yet much.
Eventually, they'll all come back, and Lynchburg will be run over.
But local people are, a lot of local people getting out because they've been, cabin fever for a year. So.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that you can finally hug your neighbor.
Really, get that right.
That's a good thing. Lori, do you work in the business?
I do. I run the front of a cafe.
That's because you're pretty.
Oh. Well, thanks.
And what time do y'all open? Every day now?
11 o'clock. Yeah.
Till 4:30.
11 till 4:30, and so you're open for lunch and dinner, basically. And on Friday night, I know you did something really special. Tell me about Friday night.
Friday night, we're open till the kitchen's open till 8 o'clock. I've opened up the back of that. You asked me what I've been doing. One thing I did is we had a room back there because used to, especially when the Europeans were coming, we'd get bus loads of people out of Nashville, like 40 people. So we had to have a place to put them. I had a room back there with windows all the way around it and a small deck outside. So this year I took all those windows out, opened that up, took the wall out between it and the outside deck and put a roof on it. So it's all open back there. And we're having live music.
Great.
In the back from 6:30 to whenever they get tired.
Whenever they quit playing.
Yeah. You know how that is. You can't stop musicians when they get in the groove.
You have to get a hook and pull them off the stage.
Yeah. But that's what we're doing on Friday night, which is, of course, used to, we had music on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night for years. And then we went to Friday and Saturday night. And then we went to Friday night, and
COVID kind of changed some of that because obviously they couldn't come in groups and sit down and watch.
COVID destroyed our social life.
It
It
pretty
did.
much.
You know,
That's
but it's
right.
coming back.
It's
It didn't
coming
kill
back,
us.
and
It just kind of slowed us down.
I think it's taken a little time to come back, just simply because a lot of people got used to staying home
Yeah.
on the couch.
Yeah.
Well, it's time they got up and got out and get over to the
And went
barbecue
to work.
cafe. Tell me what y'all are eating over there.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
We have great ribs, barbecue, jambalaya, red beans and rice.
Pulled
We have
pork,
barbecue
which you-
pizza.
Oh, barbecue pizza.
Yeah.
That's
Did you just
something
make that
different.
up?
Pulled pork.
Dad came up with that
That's a
years
cool
ago.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
We
a big
have,
item. A lot
I'll
of
bet
people
it
love the
is.
barbecue pizza.
And just so people will know, let's give them an idea what a really big meal would cost them. How about this smoking sampler platter? That'll feed how
Well,
many
that's
people?
got everything on it. That's got barbecue pulled pork. It's got ribs. It's got sausage, smoked sausage,
Sounds good.
and sides like red beans and rice or potato salad or baked beans or coleslaw. And it's got everything on it.
Well,
It's,
it looks like, from my viewpoint, that it might feed 2 or 3 people. At
Yeah,
least a
it'll
couple.
say.
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of people come
That's
in
great,
and
and
share
that's
that.
only $21.99, folks.
Right. Yeah.
If you can eat a meal for about $10, that's fabulous.
That's good.
Caboose kicking ribs, I like the sound of that. And house specialty barbecue pizza. That you said that was going well, and I think that's great that you did that. What's a hot mess?
We do. The hot mess is her deal.
That's pulled pork, mozzarella cheese, red beans. It's spicy.
Just all mixed up together.
It's good. It might be low carb.
With pork on top.
Maybe. So, yeah.
But it's good.
Tell me
The
some
hot
of the
mess
people,
is good.
some of the people that are coming in on Friday night. We got this Friday night coming up, right?
Well, we've had a bluegrass band.
Yeah.
It's local guys from different.
Jonathan
cities
still
around
playing?
here. Jonathan don't play a whole lot. He's building a house.
Okay, well.
And he's
sometimes you have to get
working
serious.
and building a house. That kind of slows you down.
Yeah.
But we had a bluegrass band, Jeff Cates and his group, good group. And then we had Hank Cawthron. I know you may have heard of Hank Cawthron. Yeah, he does traditional country and classic country, and he did a great job. Hank's very good. He'll be back. They'll be coming back.
So is there any extra
Right.
charge for that?
No, not for the music. We're just
patrons?
open for the. Of course, they put the tip
They
bucket
have
out.
a tip
so-
bowl out, and
but
that's a good thing.
last week, Lori's 3 sons did the music.
I love it.
We got one that
How old are
plays.
they?
They're 26 and 23.
Oh my gosh, I thought you're supposed to be 26.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So am I,
Yeah,
Peggy.
me too.
But we had them. One of them plays the guitar. One of them is a very good drummer.
Wonderful.
And the other one plays the guitar and sings. Of course, they all sing a song now and then, but
Yeah.
but Alex mainly leads. Well, they were there last weekend. This Friday night.
So we have Jimmy and Joy Reid. They're a local couple. And they're going
So-
to do a duet for us. and we're
That's
looking forward
great.
to
Do you remember Jimmy and Joy Reid?
I think I do,
Remember the
yes.
Mulberry Bunch with Chris
Yes,
Gantrett?
yes.
That's Jimmy and Joy, and they'll be there
And they're still
this
performing.
Friday
That's
night.
wonderful. I love
Yeah,
them.
they're great.
Just in case there's somebody out there that doesn't have a clue where Lynchburg is, you want to tell them about where you're located?
Well, yes, I do. Go south on 55 out of Tullahoma toward Fayetteville. And when you get down there, if the red light is red, stop and look around. If it's green, slow down, and you'll see the courthouse off to the left, and
You
it's
can't
right
really
there.
miss it.
We're right on the square.
And in case you don't know that, it's full of Jack Daniels.
It just follow your
You
nose.
just follow your nose and you can.
Follow your nose.
They make ice cream, don't they have Jack Daniels ice cream there on the square
do.
somewhere?
They
and
do,
lots of other
yeah.
things like that. And your caboose is, well, if you're coming in, you're kind of
We're
on the
right.
back
Just
street.
go right around the square. It's a one-way road,
Yeah.
a street. So go right around the square, and if you don't turn right at the old jail, you'll come right in my front door. Please don't do that.
Oh,
But if you'll watch, you'll turn right. You'll see us right there.
You can't miss it. It's a great place, and
Yeah.
I love this. This is open air deck celebrating 25 years. That's hard to believe.
Can you
You've
believe
been
that?
there 25 years. And you can still order your food and take it out.
Yes.
If
Oh, yeah,
you're,
sure.
there's nothing better than a good barbecue meal.
The drive-in window is still open, so if you order, you don't have to get out of your car.
You just drive
If you
by
can
and
just
pick it
order by phone and tell us you're coming, they'll come right to the window and buzz, and they'll bring it out to the window, and you don't have to even get out of your car.
And
the food is good.
That's right.
It is.
Great,
It's fabulous.
great job,
well,
John.
They're going to run me off here.
By the way, we have regular pizza too.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's with everything on it, whatever you want.
Regular pizza. Well,
Yeah.
say your last words because we got to close up.
Y'all come see us on Friday nights for some music. Kitchen's open till 8 o'clock.
And don't
Yeah.
forget it. Ken
Come-
and Lori, thanks for coming.
Thank you
Thanks for having us.
We'll be back.
Being here.
I had a knee replacement, so they've got me in life care, which I'm very, very thankful for. I couldn't garden, I couldn't do my flower beds, I can't chase my little dogs. I have been in several therapy sessions for knees and back, and that's the best therapist I believe I've ever been to. It's tremendous because I'm able to walk again, but if it wasn't for the care, I wouldn't be where I am.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
The individuals with dementia, those with Parkinson's, those that have maybe mobility issues, need caregivers. Well, those caregivers are 24 hours a day at home, and they never get a rest. And if they have to go to work, they're kind of out of luck. So that's why Trinity came into existence 25 years ago, to allow the caregivers to have a safe center where they could put their loved ones, know they would be well cared for, stimulated, fed good nutritious meals, have activities to their level, and then the caregiver can stop by and pick them up and go on home and have some continuity into their life.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. It's a Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and to continue our travel through the music world, I have my lovely bride, Miss Fran Gray, here, and she's getting ready to have a hootenanny.
That's right, John.
I wonder how many people understand that word out there, hootenanny.
I don't know, but Peggy, I'm so glad you do. You know that back in the 60s there was a show called Hootenanny, and it would come on with, we're going to have a hootenanny Saturday night.
Right.
Well, we're having a hootenanny this Saturday night.
That's right.
Right. Alzheimer's Tennessee invites you to come out to a wonderful evening. Hopefully it will be a clear, cool, breezy night, and we're going to meet behind Trinity Lutheran Church here in Tullahoma. Trinity is located on the corner of Cedar Lane and 705 Wilson Avenue. We have the opportunity to play some summer games, and I like to call them the Summer Olympics Tullahoma style, or Alzheimer's Tennessee style. We're going to do some old-fashioned things like have a three-legged race, bubblegum blowing contest, catching lightning bugs contest, just some of the fun old
Egg
things.
toss.
Egg toss. We're going to bring eggs.
Don't want to get any egg on your hands
or
now.
your face.
Yeah. Have soft hands.
Yeah. So we're going to play those games starting at 6 o'clock. If you're over 12, we would appreciate a donation of $5. But if you're 12 or under, you come in for free. But we are going to use the field behind the Trinity Lutheran back parking lot. Our good friend Don Jones has developed that territory excuse me, into a 4-hole golf course. And we also hope to have a putting contest.
Right.
So yeah, we have several holes we can choose from for that. But we are happy to be wrapping up our summer. We had the Purple Olympics back in May. In June we had trivia night, and now we're going to have another chance for teams to come and score. We are keeping track of all the scores, so you could be the grand prize winner for your efforts this season with Alzheimer's Tennessee. After the games, our special guest, well, every guest is special, but
Yes.
our special musical guest is Becky Buller. Becky is going to come and sing for us, and we are so thrilled to have her. And then she and our buddy Don Jones will lead the group, and we hope it's a good crowd in some old folk tunes. Don has been wanting to do a hootenanny for a long time.
Yes.
And we're hoping that he and I both are going to be in such good health that we can carry on with this plan of a hootenanny. And so get out your old Kingston Trio records, Peter, Paul, and Mary, or the Weavers. Now, is that aging me? I grew up listening to...
Is that Max Weaver?
No, Mr. Weaver didn't play folk music that I know of. Now, he may have played a disc at home, a vinyl.
I probably
but I think of him more as a classical or band
classical
march.
guy.
He loved marches.
Yeah.
But anyway, Mr. Weaver was our band director for years. But the Weavers were a great folk group back in the late 50s, 60s. Pete Seeger, Woody Guthrie. So if you haven't sung Blowing in the Wind or Where Have All the Flowers Gone, you've got some brushing up to do between now and Saturday. But we will start our music around 7 o'clock, and we'll go as long as we feel like it. If you need to leave early, that's fine, because some of us have to get up and get to Sunday school and church the next morning. But we do want to celebrate the summer and just have a lot of fun. Bring your lawn chair, a blanket if you like, and if you want to bring a picnic supper, that's fine. And we will just really enjoy being together and singing and playing out on this 4-hole golf course in the middle of town.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great place. It's well kept. I mean, you talk about it's like a golf course. It's mown, and you could have a great place to kids can run around, and you can keep up with them. The music. Oh, and if you have an instrument, bring it along too. This is not just a show. This is an involvement with Alzheimer's Tennessee, where you become part of the journey in making Alzheimer's a memory. And by coming into this, and there's a $5 donation suggestion. Don't not come because you don't have the $5. We want you to come and enjoy. If you can make a $5 donation,
we would appreciate
it. But it's all about music. It's all about celebrating summer. It's all about fighting a horrible disease, Alzheimer's, and supporting Fran and Alzheimer's Tennessee with their South Central Regional office right here in Tullahoma, where you can go talk to a real person about the problems you have and the help you need. It's good to have a 24/7 hotline, but it's hard to cry on a telephone shoulder. And sometimes that's just what we need, is we need a pat on the back and a helping hand from a human being. And that's what you get with Alzheimer's Tennessee right here in Tullahoma.
Thank you, John. So please come out. I don't care if you're a harmonica player, if you're a tuba player, you know, you could come, speaking of band, you could come and get some extra practice in.
That's right, that's right.
So we're inviting everyone to come and sing, and maybe you'd have a special song you'd like to sing. No pressure though, just come and have a good time. So that's this Saturday night, July 31st at 6 o'clock with games. And again, we're going to keep scores just for the fun of it and see what teams total out with winning top scores for the season.
Right.
And then we hope in a few weeks after this, we will have our Olympics appreciation celebration. Right. So, and if you all have any questions, you see our number there on the screen. And I want you to know that we have resumed our in-person support group. We are meeting on the first Wednesday of the month at Morning Point at Kings Lane in Tullahoma. If you are a care partner and need some extra support, please come over. That will be August 5th in August at noontime. We are very happy and grateful that Morning Point is providing lunch for us for our meeting. And if your loved one who has dementia needs to have care during that time, they may come along and they will be served lunch in the Lantern. So there's room and a place for everyone.
That's great.
So please come, join us. You do not have to go through this journey alone. Thank you so much.
And there's no healing touch that helps as much as a personal touch.
Thank you.
And we want to appreciate you and thank you for all the help you've given to make Alzheimer's Tennessee and this region a success. Help us go forward. Thanks for that, and we'll be right back after these messages.
What does caring look like? This is what caring looks like.
This is setting an example for others.
This is rising to the challenge.
This is doing what works.
This is doing my part.
This is doing your part.
Each of us individually.
Acting as one. Keeping your distance, no matter how awkward it may seem.
This is wearing a mask.
Over your nose and mouth.
Like we are. Keeping our distance.
Each wearing masks.
Not under your chin.
Not above your head.
Not in your hand.
But over your nose and mouth.
This is listening to the expert. If you'll just
wear one of these.
Caring makes community.
And this is what caring looks like.
Until COVID-19 is no longer a threat.
Until COVID-19 is no longer a threat.
Until COVID-19 is no longer a threat.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
The food at Parkview, well, I haven't had a bad meal there yet.
The food at Parkview is absolutely scrumptious. I mean, it is really good. It's just like home cooking.
And then there are the cookies. Oh my, they bake cookies every day, and they are super.
The food is truly incredible, and it's like being on a cruise ship.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, folks, today I'm a little bit happy, I'm a little bit sad, because I'm getting ready to talk with a young man who Fran and I both have accepted him as one of our heroes, the news reporter for the sports at the Tullahoma News, Mr. Zach Birdsong, and an incredible photographer. Fran looks at his work as art, and I look at his work as damn good reporting on sports. He has taken a new job and with our Tullahoma City School System. And Zach, give us a little bit of information on what's up.
Sure. I am the new communication specialist for Tullahoma City Schools. This is a brand new position that just got started this past year. So I'm excited to join the team at TCS. It's been a blast so far.
Well, I guess so. And you know, Greg English, who is, his wife is my partner Jim Fuller's daughter. Okay. And you know, we've been involved in that as because Jenny read the news here, and she produces the football show, and John Olive Fifth Quarter show. And all of a sudden, Greg goes from a principalship to, after pandemic, virtual school. He's designing and putting together virtual schools. And I would think that that was one of the things that catapulted the job that you have into existence, is marketing and making people understand what virtuality and education really is.
Yeah, that's part of my job, is to help promote what's happening inside Tullahoma City Schools. You know, there's so much going on. As you just mentioned, the Virtual Academy is opening this fall. That's a new step in a new direction, but there's so much going on within the Tullahoma City Schools that not a lot of people are aware of. So that's, whenever I interviewed for this position, that's what I kind of highlighted, and what I wanted to focus on is a little bit of advertising and showcasing what's happening inside the school district, you know, telling those stories that the newspaper can't get to. You know, when I interviewed for the position, I told Dr. Stevens over there that there were 5 non-sports stories that I really wanted to touch on, that I just didn't have the time to whenever I was focused solely on sports. So now that this is a position, we're going to focus on those stories that I didn't get to, and a whole lot more within the school system.
Well, and you know, we as a community spend a lot of our tax dollars seeing that we have one of the top schools in the state of Tennessee, which we do.
Absolutely.
The people who live in this town come from all over the world. They're highly educated because of Arnold Center and the Space Institute. They demand their children be taught properly. They demand their children have proper arts, like South Jackson Civic Center, like the Science Center, like the Tullahoma Arts Center, Regional Arts Center. How do you promote that stuff? You know, that's what we were talking about before the show. We all sort of have a rut that we live in. How do you smack somebody out of that rut, that they go to the art show of Tullahoma High School students that's held in the gym and all over the high school one night a year? How do people miss that? We got to make sure they don't miss that.
Yeah, and one of the things,
and that's what you're there for.
Absolutely. One of the things I made whenever I was at the newspaper, I always made it a desire to make myself available to the public. You know, if you ever had a story request or if you just wanted to talk, you can always find me at the games. You can find me at the sidelines. That's how I want to be in this position as well. I'm going to go out to the practices and performances and all that, and talk to these teachers and these instructors, and try to promote what's happening in those particular programs.
Yeah. So you'll have an office over at the what do you call it? The administration building, I guess. Yeah.
Main office. Yeah.
Main office, and we'll answer to.
I will be
Dr. Stevens.
Yes, sir. Dr. Stevens is my boss.
And then you will. What about? Are you going to be in charge of like the web pages or the virtual advertising that the school system puts out?
Yes, sir. Yeah, anything on social media, that's going to be from the district side of things, that's going to be in my ballpark, as well as anything on the website as well. Website related is also going to be mine as well.
Right.
So any of the content that you see, photo wise, video wise, story wise, is going to be press release wise is going to be from me in my office.
Okay. Do you have a feeling for whether you alone will be able to deal with all of this information and all of the work that's going to be stacking up on your desk? Because in my mind, there's going to be a whole lot of work to be done.
You know, that's one thing that I'm excited to tackle. I already can feel that list sort of growing right now, but it's been fun so far, and I've sort of enjoyed it, you know, just getting out there and, you know, acclimating myself to this new world, because it's a new world from sports than what I'm accustomed to. So I'm excited to get out there.
But sports is still part of your bailiwick, because that's part of
exactly.
Without the school system, the sports in this town would be about 10% of what it is.
Exactly. So, but I'm also learning the education side of things as well right now, and that's been fantastic. You know, the one thing that I've learned in the few weeks that I've had this position is learning that I work with a great team. That team over at Tullahoma City Schools is absolutely fantastic. You know, while I've felt overwhelmed at times, I really haven't been, you know, too panicked about it at all. You know, they're there to help me, and I'm there to promote. They know what my job is, and that's help to promote the school system. So thankfully, I work in a great school system. Great school system.
Well, and the thing about it is, in the promotion business, which is what you're in.
Yes, sir.
It's hard to get that information out to every segment or every avenue that you might be able to reach somebody. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have to be banging that door, that virtual door, to get inside somebody's head every day.
Yep. Yes, sir.
And involving the businesses is a big part of that, and involving us. You know, I told Dan and Katrine, you know, they come on from time to time and do 30 minutes with us on the Insight show. Used to be Grassroots, but you need to allow us to help you right here on this show.
Absolutely.
And on the news. We do the news 3 days a week. Well, help us help you.
Of course. Yeah.
You're welcome here anytime to bring in any type of a teacher, any type of a program. You know, you're going to start hammering nails and building a house like they used to do. Bring those folks in here and let us sit here just like you and I are sitting here right now, and let us help you get your message out, because we go to 6 counties.
Right. Yeah.
Plus we have our own YouTube channel, and we're out there with you.
Yeah.
And we want to help you.
That's fantastic, because I'm really looking forward to that partnership, because that's one of the things out there. We got to find a way to promote more than just, you know, we can release news from the school system side of things, but, you know, getting it promoted actually out there is going to be a huge factor, and I know you guys will help tremendously.
And that's what's exciting about what we do here. We've done this for 30 years. We don't talk about Nashville. We don't talk about New York, Washington, D.C. We talk about local stuff. And people all over the country now who are from Tullahoma, because we have our own YouTube channel, are watching Tullahoma from Washington State, from Montana, and they're watching what we're doing in the town where they grew up. And the more Link, Channel 6, the Link, Local Information Network. And that's what we do, and let us help you do it.
Absolutely. I'm looking
Zach
forward to
Birdsong, congratulations.
Thank you so
and
much.
welcome to the pool.
Thank you
the
so much.
The water's fine. We'll be right back after these messages.
Clayton's has been Tullahoma's shoe store for over 120 years, and Florence Hall continues that tradition today. We're the only shoe store in town that starts with measuring your foot to make sure you get the perfect fit in a quality shoe. That includes narrow through wide widths for men, women, and children. Clayton Shoes, the family shoe store you'll love.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat, with John and Pat, with John and Pat.
Hello everyone, I'm John Rickman.
And this is Pat Welch and John. We are here today for segment 65 of the Conversations with John and Pat.
That's when I graduated from high school, at 65.
65.
That was a good year.
It was a good year.
It was good. Had a good time. I liked high school a whole lot. So we're going to talk about some sports.
Most school people like school. I loved school.
Yeah, I did
loved
too.
it.
I couldn't see why people wouldn't like it. But this little song, I'm going back in the archives a little bit of my memory and pulling out some of these songs that I wrote. And this was a parody. I think we talked about that one other time, about using a tune that already was there, and I put words to it.
Not everybody from Forest High knows what a parody is, John. I'm pretty impressed.
Well, thank you, Pat. Here it is. 26 years of my life I gave to pick guitar in Nashville. 26 years of my life I gave to be a star in Nashville. I'm a-going there where the money's free. Music Square is a-calling me. Oh, what a big star I will be there in Music City. Oh, give me a home where the swimming pools roam and the money grows on trees and all the girls want to be squeezed. I'm gonna make my debut at Opryland when I get to Nashville. Get me a bus and my very own band when I get to Nashville. I'm gonna set up shop on Music Row, giving lessons to old Hank Snow. You just watch this old country boy go when I get to Nashville. Oh, give me a home where the swimming pools roam and the money grows on trees and all the girls want to be squeezed. Well, I'm a-going there if I have to crawl all the way to Nashville. Date Dolly Parton and that ain't all when I get to Nashville. When I get there, I'm gonna change my name, write a hit song about an old freight train. They'll hang my picture in the Hall of Fame when I get to Nashville. I'll sing it. Oh, give me a home where the swimming pools roam and the money grows on trees and all the girls want to be squeezed. I bet you've never heard that song before, Pat.
I've heard parts of it.
You know, Jimmy, you noticed at the song, a lot of those people, of course, Dolly Parton's married. I'm married. You got
Blissfully.
Yeah. And I'm not sure about Dolly, but yes, I am on this end of things. And then Hank Snow is no longer with us. He passed away several years ago. So a lot of that was written a long time ago. And like you can tell, I struggled remembering the words, but I think I got through it.
You didn't have to quit, John.
I didn't have to quit, so that was a good thing. But what are we talking about today, Pat?
Well, the music certainly doesn't provide much of a segue. However,
not every song does.
No. We've had some, we have had some good programs come out of a non-segue, and today will be one of them, we hope. UTSI has been made great contributions to Tullahoma, provided great jobs, and it's been a great kind of showcase for our area and for the state. But not many people realize that UTSI has a sports background, and I did not realize that until yesterday at a barbecue at O'Reilly's Auto Parts. I found out that in 1977, UTSI had a rugby club team that engaged in battle with the University of Tennessee, MTSU, Vanderbilt, and Auburn.
Wow.
And it got its footing in a local establishment that has late night hours, and it was frequented by 3 or 4 graduate students seeking some relief from their studies. And they found several look like past athletes or athletes, they could be described either way, in the establishment, and asked them if they'd ever played rugby. Not only nobody had played rugby, nobody had heard of rugby. But as they described it, several felt
sort of like football.
It's kind of like football without helmets, and which would have fit these boys really well. The problem was none of them would have been termed at that point, nor would they have accepted the term of being a rocket scientist. So it made a really kind of incredible combination. And I guess these club sports, you don't even have to be enrolled, because these boys definitely were not enrolled. Philip, put up that. This is from 1977 Tullahoma News, and I believe UTSI was in striped jerseys, rugby shirts, and the gentleman on the left, it looks like he's signaling touchdown in American football, is Bill Hain. He was a year or two older than I, and maybe what made him legal was that his brother Joe was in charge of facilities at UTSI, and I believe he still is. The gentleman in the middle who's jumping up is Tim Stubblefield, who is with the fire department and a great, and he's also a county commissioner. And the smaller guy on the right in the striped shirt is an actual grad student. So he had real ties to UTSI. This game they lost to MTSU 16-14, but that year they beat Vanderbilt and they beat Auburn. How about the second piece? That is also from 1977, and I believe to the far left is Bobby Nichols, who has been in Tullahoma a long time, and then there's 2 guys on the right, and those are our friends, the Banks brothers. Kenny is the furthest to the left of the 2, and Randy is on the far right. And if anybody will see their legs, they needed Michael Jordan length shorts at that time. They both a little bit thin in the leg department. And they are highly competitive people, and I think these graduate students were probably surprised at the lengths that those boys would go to try to UTSI victorious, but neither one of them has ever been accused of being rocket scientists at the same time.
Pat, that's an ugly thing to say about
Well, John, nor you or I would be described as a rocket
You're
scientist.
correct. You're correct.
Rocket scientist. But it's great that we live in a community that has.
One thing that I noticed moving from where I was to Tullahoma, the diversity in the community. People at UTSI, AEDC, the Air Force people who come in, they bring a lot of different ideas and life experiences to Tullahoma that we're not familiar with sometimes.
Correct. And
can I tell a story on Tim Stubblefield?
Sure.
I was a coach teacher at East Middle School, East Junior High School at this time, and one day I was a physical education teacher, and we were into wrestling during that time. And I got a child came over to my gym and said, Mr. Rickman, Mr. Saunders, Charlie Saunders, and Tim Stubblefield would like to wrestle.
And Mr. Saunders was the
he was a history teacher,
and I student taught under him in 1975 in the old East building, the old high school building.
And Tim, I suppose, was a ninth grader at that time. I really don't know. It might have been an eighth, but I know probably a ninth.
We're still back in history then, because that'd been either 77 probably or
now.
No.
Here's a teacher. Yeah. Here's a teacher and a student that's been in the classroom, and somebody has said, Mr. Saunders probably to him, I bet you couldn't beat Tim. Tim was strong as an ox. He was. As a child, a youngster, he was just, he was strong. And so anyway, yeah.
He was probably bigger than Charlie in the ninth grade too.
Well, but anyway, they came in, all the students gathered around the mats, and I had my whistle, and I was the referee. And I made sure that that things went on without any problems. So Mr. Saunders and Tim began to wrestle, and next thing you know, Mr. Saunders is on his back, and Tim's about ready to, pin him, and I think, this is too quick. I can't let Tim beat him so quickly. So I said, no, that's an illegal hold. We're gonna stand you back up. We're gonna stand you back up.
Start over.
Well, wasn't any time till Tim
a mulligan. Gave him a mulligan, wrestling mulligan.
Tim had him down again, and that was settled after that. And so Tim beat Mr. Saunders. Now, I don't know if things like that could go on today, but
probably
things were
not.
different back at that time, and we sure had a good time. And I laugh about that today, and I don't know what Mr. Saunders does. But
flinches probably.
But Tim Stubblefield, we love you, old buddy, and all those people who played rugby back at that time.
Don, not many people know that UTSI was involved in interscholastic athletics at a high end in 1977, and many people know that Tim Stubblefield whipped Charlie Saunders in your PE class. But that probably wraps up segment 65 of the conversation with John and Pat, and we're so desirous of coming back because we have more stories to tell. Thank y'all.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat, with John and Pat, with John and Pat.
Partners for Healing provides medical care to the working uninsured of Coffee, Franklin, and Moore counties. We are in Tullahoma from 8 to 5, Monday through Thursdays, and in Manchester on Fridays from 8 to 12. We provide primary medical care and offer an in-house disease management program.
My name is Rosie Mitchell, and I would just like to say I am blessed to have partners in my life.
Please call 455-5014 for more information. Thank you for being one of our Partners for Healing.
Hello, this is Janie Price. When my husband Ray Price would tour across the country, his favorite place to dine was Cracker Barrel Old Country Store locations. His favorite thing to order was the Uncle Herschel.
And the beauty of it all is forever. You'll be holding me too.
I miss Ray dearly, and I'm so proud that his last album, Beauty Is the Final Sessions, is available at his favorite restaurant.
A love affair to remember.
The project includes a duet with Martina McBride and harmony vocals from Vince Gill. Ray believed this to be the best recording he had ever made.
Oh, I wish I was 18 again.
I think you'll agree when you pick up your copy of Beauty Is the Final Sessions at a Cracker Barrel Old Country Store location near you or at crackerbarrel.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
We got 1 minute to tell you what's left.
And it's George Casey. We are having this comedian because it's time to laugh.
I agree.
After the country show in August, we're having George Casey, an Irish comedian. An
Irish comedian?
Yes.
I bet he'll be hilarious.
I think we have a few laughs to show.
Okay, so is that what we're getting ready to do, or we have 1 minute and 25?
At South Jackson Civic Center. Be sure and come in and get a ticket, or call in and get a ticket, or go online and get a ticket.
And while they've given us 15 more seconds, we need to make sure they get their tickets for the country show.
Right. But I thought they wanted to show the...
Well, they are, but we had a minute. Now we've got more than a minute.
All right,
because they didn't know what they were doing.
The country show is coming up in August.
Okay.
And I think it's the 12th, 13th, and 14th of August, whatever Friday, Saturday, Sunday
Yes, that's it.
And then I believe it's the following week we have George Casey, the comedian.
George Casey, the Irish comedian.
Irish comedian.
I'll bet he is hilarious.
He's a fabulous comedian, and it's clean enough you can bring your children if you want to.
Irishman is clean?
Oh, yeah.
I bet he'll have a little bit of off-color stuff going on.
But it's
not too bad.
It's not too bad.
Okay.
Anyway, he's a lot of fun.
And don't forget, Saturday night at Don Jones Golf Course behind Trinity Lutheran Church, we're going to have a hootenanny. So come on over and hear.
And that started at what time?
We'll have some games start around 6, and then Becky Buller's going to be there. The music will start around 7.
You got a food truck?
No, we couldn't find a food truck. Food trucks, everybody's busy because the world has opened up. Hallelujah!
Yeah.
But still be safe and
so you can bring
stay
your
well.
food,
Yeah,
right?
bring your own food. Bring Mama and them.
All right,
It'll be
this is
fun.
George Casey.
George Casey. See you next time.
Don't miss international comedian George Casey, a favorite with audiences worldwide.
I'm going to get you real fast here. I'm going to show you in 3 little jokes how crazy the Irish are. We're the lovable, crazy little people. We love life. And if we do something stupid, and trust me, we do it a lot, we're never ashamed. I'll show you 3 little jokes. I'm sitting on a stool in a bar one night in Dublin. Sitting on a stool. Sitting there just having a drop of holy water. Minding my own business. And an Irishman walked up to me, a total stranger, but an Irishman walked up, looked me straight in the eye, with no expression whatsoever. And this Irishman said to me the dumbest thing that's ever been said to me in my life on this planet. I'm not joking. This Irishman looked me straight in the eye and he said to me, "Are you reading that paper you're sitting on?" Did you hear me over here? Are you reading that paper you're sitting on? Like you, I was in shock. I couldn't believe it. But the Irish in me took over. I couldn't let it go. You know what I did? I got up, I turned the page, and I sat down again. In hindsight, I did the right thing, I'll tell you. 2 little Irish guys walk into a bar, and they're giving the high five, and they're all excited, they're jumping around. And the bartender says, "Calm down. This is a restaurant. What are you so happy about?" And one of the Irish guys says, "Well, sir, Sir, we just put a jigsaw puzzle together. Did you hear me? We put a jigsaw puzzle together. And we finished it in 4 months. And the bartender says, what's so great about that? Little Irish guy goes, look, the box said 2 to 5 years. Now I told you I had 3. The last one is my favorite. And excuse me for laughing, but I know the ending. This is a good one, I'm telling you. I'm serious, this is a good one. An Irish guy and an American guy were trying out for a job one day. And they're both qualified for the job. And the foreman says, you know what I'll do? I'll give you a simple test. I'll give you 10 questions each. You run off. You write down the answers, you come back, let's see who does the best will get the job. Well, they both came back, and the only problem was they both had 9 right and 1 wrong. And the foreman said, well, that's it. I'm giving the job to the American guy. And the Irish guy got all bent out of shape. He goes, hold on a minute, you can't do that. You know that's wrong. That's discrimination. He had 9 right and 1 wrong. And I ain't arguing, but I had 9 right and 1 wrong. So why would you give the job to the American guy? And the foreman says, because the way he answered the 5th question, he wrote down, I don't know, and you wrote down, neither do I.
George Casey is a headliner on all of the major cruise lines. Enjoy George Casey's clean, self-deprecating humor that will have you bursting out in loud belly laughs.
I just had a big birthday. Can I share it with you? I just turned 55. How about that? Hey! Yeah, 7 years ago. And there's one birthday in every man's life, and you get to a certain birthday, sir, and you know your body is coming to a grinding halt. No disrespect to you or to myself. It's just we're getting older, and that's a fact of life. I mean, I don't have the energy I had 25 years ago, sir, I don't. If it wasn't for stress, I'd have no energy at all. I wouldn't have done it. And can I tell you a little secret, because you're a nice audience? My wife doesn't get stressed, no. She's just a carrier. Take your time, it'll get to the back eventually, don't worry. I'm serious. Am I right, sir? This is for all the married men in the house. A man marries, then he mellows, then he ripens, and then he rots. And that's the fact of life. The left knee goes, the right knee, then the weenie. Don't look at me like I'm the only one, okay? Oh my God, even when I'm naked, I feel like slipping into something a little more comfortable, okay? I'm getting old, honest to God. I used to be a stud muffin in our house. Now I'm just an old bran muffin is all I am. Honest to God. My wife said the other night, do you want to go upstairs and fool around? I said, pick one, because I can't do both. That's getting old, folks. I went to a gay 90s bar. All the guys were gay, all the women were 90. Honest to God. And the worst one of all, I was working in Las Vegas, and a lady of the evening came up to me in Las Vegas. She says, come here, George, come here. I'll do anything you want for $250. And all I could think was, can you paint my house? My wife. I mean, look, it's in my DNA as a comedian to make jokes about my wife, my mother-in-law. I love her. I mean, I love my wife. She hates to cook, and I hate her cooking, so we're very happy in my house. You know what I mean? She's a lovely lady, but she can't cook. One day she mixed hamburger helper and tuna helper. Yeah, and tried to tell me it was surf and turf. You got bad food when you see the flies chipping in to fix the screen door, okay? But I'll say one thing good about my wife's cooking. The dog doesn't beg at the table anymore, okay? She throws scraps, he throws them right back at her. That's what he does. And I love my wife, I do. Now, most of my career these days, I spend about at least 30 weeks a year on cruise ships. That's mostly what I do. I work for all the cruise lines. and I go all over the world and a whole bit and that, and I'm gone a lot. I know she loves me, but sometimes, folks, you're a nice audience, and I can talk to you now, because you know me and you can trust me. I think she's cheating on me. I do. We've had the same mailman. Listen up. We've had the same mailman for the last 26 years, and we've lived in 4 different cities.
George has performed with such legendary icons as Rosemary Clooney, Bobby Vinton, Charlie Pride, and Ray Price.
I don't know what it is, that I get older, I see these things and I get crankier. Even the young kids in America today, the young kids, young boys, 18, 19 years of age, and all the technology they're getting, and all the education they're getting that my generation never got. And these young men haven't figured how to pull their pants up yet, okay? Thank you. You and I didn't wear our pants at half-mast, sir. No way, we did not. We had class, we did. But I'll tell you something, these kids, you and I know something these kids don't know, sir. When they get to be our age like you and me, it doesn't matter where the top of your pants start. It doesn't matter. The older we get, they rise all by themselves. 50, 55, 65, 75, 85. My grandfather lived to be 104. He was nothing more than a pair of pants and a head of hair. That's all he was. I'm serious. He used to pull down his zipper, stick his head out, see where the hell he was going.
George Casey is the king of Blarney.